You are listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report, episode number 212.2, our boys basketball semi-state scoreboard show, scores and highlights from all 24 games in all 8 locations on Saturday, plus a look ahead to all 4 state championship matchups.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengels.
Welcome, basketball fans, to our semi-state scoreboard show. Today is March 23rd, 2025. It's a Sunday, so it's another day for the Central Indiana Sports Report. I'm your host, Greg Mengel. I love Central Indiana basketball. Coming to you today from headquarters in Jeffersonville, producer Susie is in the control room. Coming up, we have results and highlights from all 8 semi-state locations and all 24 games that were played on Saturday, plus next Saturday's championship game matchups. But first, I'm going to ask you to please go to YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We're going to start doing a lot more at YouTube. We're going to start having some exclusive content at YouTube. So even if you're already subscribed at SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, or Amazon, you're going to want to also be subscribed at YouTube. Thank you. Also, looking at some of the numbers, we're starting to realize that not a lot of people listen to podcasts on the weekends. So we're going to start producing fewer segments on the weekend, including our daily report. We will not have a daily report on Sunday. We will have one on Monday that reviews the entire weekend. Of course, we'll still continue to have our reaction podcasts over the weekend. In fact, coming up later Sunday, we will have Dave Chanley's reaction to the IndyCar race at Thermal in California. I tell you all that to let you know that all of our semi-state recaps from all over the state we will be running starting on Monday morning. We hope to have 3 or 4 of those. I know we're going to have one from Michigan City. We hope to have more. And we start today's semi-state scoreboard at the Class 4A North Semi-State at Elkhart, where number 1 Fishers had no problem advancing to the state finals. The defending state champions, the state favorites, have won 42 games in a row now. All 3 regional and semi-state wins were by at least 25 points, beating number 7 Crown Point 73-48 in the championship game at Elkhart on Saturday night. Of course, it's the Tigers' second consecutive semi-state championship. They will play number 6 Jeffersonville for back-to-back state championships on Saturday. They would be the first team to win back-to-back 4A state championships in back-to-back years since Carmel in 2012 and 13. Crown Point led 6-2 early and 15-13 late in the first quarter, but it was a mirage. Fishers continued to show why it's one of the top teams in the nation with a 30-10 run. It was all Tigers the rest of the way. Jason Gardner Jr. had 18 points, Justin Kirby 16, and Mill McCartney 14 for the always balanced Tigers. Fishers beat number 11 South Bend Riley 82-46 in the semifinals. The Tigers scored the game's first 7 points and led 20-3 after one quarter. Miami of Ohio recruit Justin Kirby had 21 points and 7 rebounds in under 20 minutes. Logan Sigler, 14 points and 6 rebounds. Gardner and John Anthony Hall had 10 points apiece, and Cooper Zachary 9 in the win. The Tigers held Tyrese Jones to 2 points after he had 45 points in the regional championship. Marvin Schindler led Riley with 13. Isaiah Packer had 10. Crown Point beat Homestead 41-29 in the semifinal round. Dikembe Shaw finished with 15 points on 5 of 8 shooting, and Kingston Rhodes had 13 for Crown Point. Homestead's Mac Welker led all scorers with 17 points. He also had 8 rebounds and 3 steals. The 4A state championship game is exactly what we thought it would be before the season began. Number 6 Jeffersonville is back in the state championship game for the first time since 1995 after coming from behind to beat Mount Vernon 63-59, then knocking off number 10 Lawrence North 56-49 in the semi-state championship game at Newcastle. Jeff's last state championship came in 1993 behind IU bound Sharon Wilkerson, who is now the third year head coach at his alma mater. Wilkerson's Red Devils dominated the first half against the 10th ranked Wildcats, but Lawrence North's Butler bound Xavier Stink Robinson led a comeback that got them within 4 points early in the fourth quarter. That's when Jeffersonville's star took over. Northwestern bound Trey Singleton took over and finished with 16 points and 10 rebounds to send the Devils to Indy. Robinson scored 22 points in the loss and became Lawrence North's all-time leading scorer, passing Greg Oden. Robinson finished his career with 1,774 points, one more than the former number one NBA draft pick. Jeff looked like it was in real trouble in the semifinals after a Max Vice dunk put Mount Vernon ahead 55-46 with just over 6 minutes left, but the Red Devils went on a 13-2 run that put them in the Final Four for the second straight season. Michael Cooper scored 24 points and Singleton had 18 for Jeff, which has won 17 games in a row since getting healthy. Future Purdue Boilermaker Luke Ertl had a game-best 29 points for Mount Vernon. In the other semifinal, Lawrence North dominated Terre Haute North. Kai McGrew had 24 points to lead the Wildcats. Cameron Fennell led the Patriots with 15 points. So Saturday in the final state championship game, it'll be number 1 Fishers against number 7 Jeffersonville. Fishers is 30-0. Jeffersonville is 23-5, of course. All their 5 losses came early when Trey Singleton was injured. Should be a great Class 4A state championship. We moved to Class 3A in the North at Logansport. South Bend St. Joseph scored 199 points and rolled through Maconaquah and East Chicago to return to the Class 3A championship game in Indianapolis next Saturday. In the opener at the Berry Bowl, the Huskies put up 115 points in a 34-point rout over Maconaquah. The 115 points is a single-game semi-state record. The combined 199 points between St. Joseph and Maconaquah was the second most ever, behind Lafayette Jeff's 104-99 win over Plainfield in 1996. Josiah Ball finished with 40 points in his final game for Maconaquah. In the second semifinal, Delta's magical season came to an end with a 62-46 win to East Chicago Central. The Cardinals scored the first 8 points of the game and led 14-4 at the end of the first. Jordan Fernie got the Eagles within 4 points at 21-17, but that's as close as Delta got. Dominique Murphy led Central with 22 points. The Cardinals shot 61% from the field, Delta just 32. Fernie led the Eagles with 16 points and Lucas Bragg had 14. In the championship games, the Huskies scored a ho-hum 84 points in an 84-72 triumph over East Chicago Central. St. Joe scored 29 of those points in the second quarter and led 51-33 at the half. Elijah King led the Huskies with 28 points, 7 rebounds, and 3 assists. This makes back-to-back semi-state titles for St. Joseph's. They lost 67-57 to Scottsburg in last year's 3A state championship game. Man, what a state championship game it's going to be in 3A as well. Crispus Attucks overcame a tough field at Southport to win its 7th semi-state title in program history, going back, of course, to the Ray Crow, Oscar Robertson days when they dominated the state in the 1950s. First, the Tigers took down number 8 Princeton behind an early 17-3 run and a balanced attack that was led by 13 points and 12 rebounds from future Indiana All-Star and Iowa Hawkeye Desmond Briscoe. Senior Che Brownlow added 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists, and senior Chris Hunt had 11 points and 6 steals in the win. In the championship, the 6th-ranked Tigers won in surprisingly easy fashion, 67-49 over number 3 New Palestine. They outscored the Dragons 42-26 in the second half. Briscoe was 7 for 10 from the field and finished with 20 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 block shots. Sophomore A.J. Jones had 15 points and 4 assists, and Hurt contributed 12 points and 6 assists. In the first game of the day, New Pal knocked off defending 2A state champion Brownstown Central 47-43. The Dragons overcame an early 7-0 deficit behind 18 points from senior Julius Giese. The 3A state championship, again, it'll be number 2 South Bend St. Joe and number 6 Crispus Attucks. Could have 200 points in that one. St. Joe is 26-3, Crispus Attucks 22-6. Attucks has won state championships in 1955, 56, and 59, and 2017. St. Joseph will be playing in its 4th state championship game. The Huskies have never won one. To the Class 2A North Semistate at Michigan State, where our Grant Schaus was in attendance and will have a report on Monday morning. After winning its first regional championship in 31 years last Saturday, the Manchester Squires took it up another notch on Saturday by winning the program's first ever semi-state championship with 2 amazing wins, 56-55 over Jimtown in the semifinals and 53-50 over number 6 Gary 21st Century at the Wolves Den in Michigan City. In the opener, Ethan Hendricks hit a game-winning 3 with 8 seconds left to lift the Squires past Jimtown. Hendricks led Manchester with 19 points in the win. In the championship game, Manchester held off a late Gary 21st Century charge and held on for a 53-50 victory behind 22 points and 14 rebounds from senior star Gavin Betton. In the day's first semifinal, Gary 21st Century ended number 1 Wapahani season 61-59. Nate Luce led the Raiders with 18 points on 6 threes in the loss. Their season ends at 26-2. What a program that's turned into. In the 2A South at the Hatchet House in Washington, University won a pair of thrillers, upsetting number 11 Linton Stockton 59-56 in overtime, then upsetting number 3 Park Heritage 57-53 for the program's first ever semi-state championship. The Blazers outscored Linton Stockton 8-5 in overtime to make the Final Four for the second time in program history. Then they made history by outscoring Park Heritage 27-19 in the second half and securing a spot in Saturday's 2A title game against Manchester. Leading scorer Blake Gray had 19 points on 7 of 10 shooting in the championship. Sophomore Joshua Henderson had 14 points and 6 boards for the Blazers, who won 20 games for the 6th time in program history. Park Heritage eliminated Forest Park 48-46 in a dramatic comeback in the semifinals. Trey Shelsky led the comeback and finished with 23 points. Carter Crum had 14 points in the win. So the Class 2A state championship, it'll be 2 first-timers. Number 4 Manchester, which is 25-2 against 20-9 University. That game will start at the Fieldhouse in downtown Indianapolis at 12:45 p.m. And Clinton Prairie won its first semi-state championship Saturday and will play for a state title for the first time ever. The third-ranked Gophers earned a pair of double-digit wins, 62-47 over number 11 Triton and 73-59 over number 7 Couts to claim the Lafayette Jeff semi-state championship at the Crawley Center. The Gophers dominated Couts in the final 16 minutes, outscoring the Mustangs 44-29 in the second half. In the semifinal, Prairie outscored 73 points against one of the state's top defenses in Triton. Jake McGrew had 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. And Alex Farley had 17 points and was 2 for 4 from deep in the semifinal. It will be a pair of state finals newcomers in the Class A state championship as well. Number 4 Orleans won perhaps the state's toughest semi-state, beating number 2 Hauser 69-67 and number 1 Clay City 50-47 at Seymour. Ryan Crocker hit a free throw line jumper with 3 seconds left to lift the Bulldogs to their first semi-state title. In the semifinal, they overcame number 2 Hauser and a 66-58 deficit with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Crocker had a game-high 24 points and DeWitt added 20 for the Bulldogs. Big win for coaching legend Tom Bradley getting to state for the first time. All those great teams he's had, very nice to see him finally get there. And Clay City beat Liberty Christian 63-44 to advance to the championship game. The Lion season ends at 18-9 after winning back-to-back regional titles, and the best days seem to be ahead for Liberty. They were led by sophomore Kendrick Martin with 14 points and 8 rebounds. sophomore TJ English with 12 points and 10 rebounds, and sophomore Ty Wayne Fuller, who finished with 4 points and 4 assists. Bryce Wyram led Clay City with 25 points. And the first state championship on Saturday will be number 3 Clinton Prairie against number 4 Orleans at 10:30 a.m. at the Fieldhouse in beautiful downtown Indianapolis. Clinton Prairie is 26-2, Orleans is 24-4. And now you know everything we know about Saturday's semi-states across Indiana. Thank you so much for listening. Please share this segment with your friends and family. Appreciate it as always. The Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media. And I love Susie.